Let's talk some Auburn recruiting as the Tigers held a massive junior day event on Saturday. Big day on the Plains. Players met with the coaching staff. They toured the facilities. They also got to watch that Auburn win over Tennessee in hoops. So today on this video, we got insider Jeffrey Lee from Auburn Live. He's going to take us behind the scenes of all the action from Saturday. So before we get going, guys, do me a favor, Auburn fans, hit subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. This is the best recruiting channel on all of YouTube. All right, let's bring in Jeffrey Lee to get the buzz coming out of this Auburn Junior Day. And why not start at the top with a pair of five-star targets that were on campus? Out of the state of Mississippi, we had wide receiver Tristan Keys. He's one of the hottest names going. What did he have to say about his Auburn visit?
Hey, he had a really good time, Josh. He got to hang out with some of the recruits, some of the players. He and Deuce Knight have a long-standing relationship. He also hung out with Anquan Fagans. A lot of these top recruits know each other from all-star games, camps, combines, and all that. So he's very familiar with Auburn, some of the players, some of the recruits. He's also very familiar with a lot of the coaches like Derek Nix, Marcus Davis, Hugh Freeze. All those guys really pitched in and are recruiting him to Auburn. He's a high priority for the Tigers. And then, he went to the basketball game and saw the Tigers inch out a 2-point win over Tennessee, and then went to Toomer's Corner and did a little TPing, as he called it.
That's an experience I'm sure he'll never forget. Let's move on to five-star offensive tackle Emanuel Inoso. This was kind of a building of relationship type visit. What did you get from Inoso after he left?
Loved Inoso's interview. Really grateful to him. He said all the right things. He had a wonderful time. It's his second visit to Auburn. It was better than the first. He enjoyed the basketball game. He loves the coaches. He loves the opportunity at Auburn. And then he closed it out with, and I said, hey, where does Auburn sit for you? And he said, probably number 5 or number 6. And that warms my heart because I appreciate honesty.
Be honest.
Because if you had read his quotes up until that point, you would think Auburn's top 2, top 3 at the worst. And he was really honest. It was like 5 or 6. I do want to come back. I want to come back in the spring. And then I want to decide then if I want to come back for an official visit. So right now, there's still a lot of work for Auburn to do with him. We're getting him back on campus. They don't have it. They're not 5 or 6 if they don't get him back on campus. And then get him back on campus in the spring. And then so that's kind of the next step. And then you're trying to get him back for an official visit. So still some work to do there. But overall, really good visit, really good vibe from me and Nacho and what he had to say about Auburn.
Yeah, and you guys have done an incredible job over at Auburn Live getting reaction, not just from these 2 5-stars, but from a ton of prospects that were on campus. So that being said, we don't have time to go over everybody. I encourage you guys to go read Auburn Live. But, Jeff, what did you learn this weekend? Is there anybody, because I know Auburn fans are also wanting to know, anybody close to committing?
Yeah, well, nobody really came out and said it except for Jaden Broadnax. He's a 4-star defensive back from Boca Raton, Florida. He said he's going to make an announcement the next few weeks. Auburn really amazed him this weekend. It was his first visit to Auburn. I like where Auburn sits there with maybe his in-state school, Florida. I think top 2, he said, decision coming soon. But some of these guys, they'll just kind of pop out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But nobody has said, hey, I'm going to announce in the next week. But some guys to keep an eye on, maybe some of the in-state guys and some of the more local guys.
All right. So that being said, we're talking to Auburn 2026 recruiting. What's next? I mean, on the recruiting calendar, was this the last big weekend before we get to spring football, or will there be another weekend where we can expect some prospects on campus?
Yeah, I think Auburn's going to bring in guys just periodically throughout, this open contact period. Caden Protro is a tight end who wasn't able to make it on Saturday, but I expect him to maybe make it next weekend. Same for Marquez Daniel, the 4-star wide receiver from Tuskegee. Same for Jacquez Wilkes, the 4-star linebacker from Wadley. So there are some guys who weren't able to make it on Saturday, but Auburn's going to try to get them back, get some more one-on-one time with those guys before spring practice begins.
All right, Auburn fans, talk to Jeff and I about these 5-stars that were on campus, Tristan Keys, Emanuel Inoso. Which one do you, or both, do you think will end up being Tigers in the end? Let us know, comment section below.